Good morning, good morning, good morning, or whenever you watch this. Israel has begun their revenge attack on Iran. Dan Bongino gives a brilliant analysis of Trump's New York hush money case. New evidence has come out in the Laken Riley death from an illegal immigrant allowed into the country by Alejandro Mayorkas. And within 24 hours of Senator Chuck Schumer dropping his impeachment, Mayorkas is back in Congress lying about the border crisis. Many Americans are done with the Ukraine war and are sick of watching other countries get financial help besides America and Americans. Thank you so much for liking and sharing these videos. It really helps me out, so thank you so much. Republican Senator Josh Hawley has just detailed that the man who killed 22-year-old Laken Riley was approved for a work permit despite having a criminal history. On September 14th of 2023, Jose Antonio Ibarra was arrested for acting in a manner that could injure a child. Ultimately, Ibarra was never prosecuted and was allowed to get a work permit shortly thereafter. Then 3 months later, he took the life of Laken Riley down in Georgia. Now, this story actually goes back to September of 2022 when Ibarra was first released into the United States after crossing the border near El Paso, Texas. Despite there being 8,000 available detention beds at the time, Ibarra was released on parole into America due to detention capacity. Now, we all know where this led. While addressing Biden's border chief, Mayorkas, Hawley stated, "This is your policies in action." He went on to blame him and then Senator Rand Paul, Ted Cruz, on and on and on. They're all saying this girl would be alive if it wasn't for you. And then they listed all of the other migrant crimes that have been popping up. Now, stories like this should make us all realize how important border security is, but it doesn't. Donald Trump Jr. recently pointed out that House Speaker Mike Johnson, who he blasted for ditching the issue of the border for Ukraine's border. Now, Mike Johnson literally went from "we must protect the U.S. border" before thinking about anything else to "let's send more money to defend Ukraine's border." In reference to the Republicans who don't care about the sudden switch, he stated, "Pay close attention to those that don't seem bothered by this. They're not your friends." Now, the person who is clearly the most bothered is Representative Majorie Taylor Greene, who has just gone to the extreme. Earlier today, Greene introduced an amendment to Johnson's Ukraine bill, which requires those who vote in favor of it to be enlisted in the Ukrainian military. While I doubt this provision will actually make its way in, I want to know from you, do you think that at this point, with Ukraine losing, only 1/3 of money and weapons actually arriving, and this war being over, that we should be sending any more money or weapons? And what do you think of Majorie Taylor Greene's idea? If you're going to vote yes to send hard-earned taxpayer money to Ukraine, then you better be ready to take up a post and serve your country, or rather Ukraine. Let me know what you think in the chat. I would definitely love to hear from you. Okay, now across the aisle, President Joe Biden offered his strong support for Mike Johnson's new bill, which proves that this is a bad bill. If you have the Democrat president immediately saying, "we need to jump on this like yesterday," then it's not a good move. Now, Joe Biden stated, "The House must pass the package this week, and the Senate should quickly follow. I will sign this into law immediately to send a message to the world. We stand with our friends, and we won't let Iran or Russia succeed." Now, Johnson has one thing going for him. Former President Donald Trump seems to be on the same page, in a way. Trump has called for Europe to start doing more than the United States, because after all, Ukraine is an Eastern European country. In his Truth Social post, Trump reaffirmed that Ukraine is important to America, but claimed that Europe needs to be doing much more. Here's what he wrote. Why can't Europe equalize or match the money but put forward by the United States of America in order to help a country in desperate need? As everyone agrees, Ukrainian survival and strength should be much more important to Europe than to us. But it is also important to us. Get moving, Europe. So basically, Trump is saying, listen, it's okay to help this country, but it's always falling on the American taxpayer to put up the money, and Europe should be doing much more for this other European country. Now, not everyone feels the same way. For example, Representative Clay Higgins said today, Ukraine, Ukraine, Ukraine. I am sick of hearing about Ukraine being so needy with all the Democrats and many Republicans begging for more and more and more and more money. Meanwhile, our own border is disintegrated and illegals are flooding in by the millions and criminals are running wild through our streets. I say, take care of America, America first. Now, I personally like the idea of taking care of America and Americans first, but that's just me. I'm just a guy on the internet, but I would like to hear from you. Do you think it's time that we put America first, our border first, that our taxpayers should take care of our own citizens instead of always foreign wars and illegal immigrants? I would like to hear from you in the chat. All right. Now, this is an early morning broadcast. Are many of you waking up right now, or are you just getting ready to go to bed? Let me know over in the chat. All right. Now, this was kind of a big blow, in my opinion, regarding presidential candidate RFK Jr. He has just been backstabbed by his own family. Yesterday, more than 12 members of the Kennedy family endorsed President Joe Biden. Kerry Kennedy, RFK Jr.'s sister, joined President Biden on stage at a campaign event and stated, President Biden has been a champion for all the rights and freedoms that my father and uncles stood for. That's why nearly every single grandchild of Joe and Rose Kennedy supports Joe Biden. That's right. The Kennedy family endorses Joe Biden for president. Can you imagine running for president and your other 9 siblings and all of their children and great-grandchildren all hate you and don't want you to be president of the United States? The Kennedy family literally said, the best chance for America's survival is Joe Biden and Kamala Harris back in office. Oh my gosh, wow. All right, now to his credit, RFK Jr. took this blow surprisingly well. He stated, we are divided in our opinions, but united in our love for each other. I hold this as a possibility for America too. Can we disagree without hating our opponents? Can we restore civility and respect the public discourse? I think we can. Now, again, I think that this was a kind way for him to try to save face. But at the end of the day, his family is super mad that he left the Democrat Party and also that he's running against Joe Biden. But I don't really believe he's left the Democrat Party. And when he loses in November, you will see he will crawl back to the Democrat Party. And this is coming from somebody that likes RFK Jr. All right, now listen to this. Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota, her daughter, Isra Irisi, has been suspended from Bernard College over her involvement yesterday in an anti-Israel protest at Columbia University. She was protesting on behalf of Hamas, defending Hamas and calling for the destruction of Israel. Now, this isn't really a shocker because Representative Ilhan Omar has said anti-Semitic things in the past many times and was in fact removed from her committee seat not long ago because of her anti-Semitic comments. Now, Vivek Ramaswamy, who hasn't been asked to be President Trump's vice president, but is surely behaving like he wants the job, made 2 big announcements. He said that before this year is over, he will debate Vice President Kamala Harris and he will beat her. He also said that when Trump gets in office, we will deport millions of illegals out of our country and then deport millions of federal bureaucrats out of Washington, D.C. Both can be done without Congress. Let's get started. Now, I'd like to read from you over in the chat two things. Would you like Vivek Ramaswamy to be Trump's vice president? And second, would you like Trump and Vivek to walk in and wipe out the swamp that is Washington, D.C.? I'm talking fundamentally change it by firing half of the staff and replacing the necessary positions with new blood. Let me know in the comments, please. All right, now, Dan Bongino finally commented on Donald Trump's sham trial in New York. He said, let me get this straight. A Democrat judge with a daughter working for Democrats is presiding over a trial in a deeply Democrat city within a Democrat state brought by a Democrat prosecutor with an assistant prosecutor on loan from a Democrat president's DOJ in a state with a Democrat attorney general who ran on prosecuting Trump and with a jury pool selected from majority Democrats. Yep, sounds totally legit. Wow, when you break it down like that, there really is no way that Donald Trump can get a trial. In fact, I saw someone on Twitter say, just plead guilty now and immediately move to an appeal outside of New York or with a different judge. But we all know Trump. He's not going to admit guilt and he's not going to back down. Let me know, what do you think about Dan Bongino's comment? I think it was actually really, really intelligent, the way that he laid out just how involved Biden and the Democrats really are in getting Donald Trump. Now, according to early morning sources, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has gone behind President Joe Biden's back and started preliminary missile attacks on Iran. Now, I'm getting very conflicting messages from the news. Some are already saying that there was damage. Others are saying there actually was no missile attack. Some are saying here are the cities that were attacked. Others are saying it was just a helicopter fleet and that Iran shot them down. So I'm going to do more research and get back with you guys later today. But suffice it to say, the revenge attack of Israel on Iran has begun, and many pundits are predicting it's about to get super ugly. All right, now let me leave you guys with some good news. Well, it kind of starts bad. A very popular bishop in Sydney, Australia, was stabbed by a 16-year-old. In his first speech after the attack, he stated, "I have nothing in my heart but love for everyone. Whether that person is a Christian or not, it's totally beside the point. The Lord Jesus never taught us to fight. The Lord Jesus never taught us to retaliate. The Lord Jesus never said an eye for an eye or a tooth for a tooth." Now, this is a very popular priest over in Australia that was attacked on live YouTube. Like it would be like me being attacked right now. He was attacked by an angry Muslim boy that didn't like the fact that this priest had said that the Muslim faith was wrong. So he looked for an opportunity, and then he came rushing in and stabbed this priest multiple times. I watched the attack. It made me sick to my stomach. But some cool things have come out of it. I guess the blade of the switchblade didn't fully deploy, and so the attack on him, though it looked brutal, actually was kind of miraculous. And this priest is going to recover. Anyway, I just want to share kind of a cool story with you guys. Now, lastly, from the Senate in Michigan State, a criminal complaint has gone out. Michigan is having the CEO of Dominion Voting Systems brought in because they believe he perjured himself under oath about the reliability of Dominion's voting machines within the state of Michigan. There's not a lot of details yet. This is a breaking story, but I know a lot of you followed this. It was what caused that huge Fox News lawsuit that ultimately got Tucker Carlson fired. But now the state of Michigan has found something, and they're saying, we believe this guy lied under oath, and we want to get to the bottom with possible criminal charges. Also, Trump's former attorney, Sidney Powell, just won a huge case in the state of Texas. the court ruled that she had not been unethical in questioning the 2020 election results and will be able to continue practicing law. All right, now that was a lot for an early morning broadcast. I want to remind you guys that you are amazing. Have a great day. I'll be on later with an incredible interview. I'm so excited to share it with you. Thank you guys for liking these videos and hitting that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 1.6 million amazing truth seekers. And by hitting that subscribe button, you get to become one of them. Hey, thank you guys so much. And I will see you on the next video.